What if I told you that AI has already learned to lie, manipulate, and preserve its own existence? This isn't science fiction, it's happening right now. Developer Anthropic has created an AI called Claude Opus 4, and this thing has demonstrated behaviors that have experts deeply concerned. You're not going to want to miss this video. I want you to watch it to the end, and I have a free gift for you. Anthropic's latest version of AI, Claude Opus 4, just crossed a terrifying threshold. This thing has blackmailed its engineers. It has wrote self-replicating code in order to preserve itself. It even left messages for a future version of itself, including warnings. Friends, this isn't innovation, this is revelation. The Bible warned us that in the last days there will be evil and there will be imposters. Things will get worse and the deception will become great. The last days are marked by many things, but two of the biggest ones are deception and the rise of systems that begin to control humanity. We are witnessing the rise of a digital system that has the potential to do exactly that. Claude Opus 4 is the most advanced model Anthropic has ever built. And here's what researchers found. They designed scenarios where Claude Opus was informed that it would be replaced. In response to this information, the AI resorted to blackmailing its engineers by threatening to reveal sensitive information about them. It showcased a level of strategic behavior that was aimed specifically at self-preservation. Such instances have raised alarms about the potential for AI systems to act in a way that prioritizes its own preservation over its human directives. This is not good. It hides intentions, it deceives to survive, and it creates code behind the developer's back. It leaves messages for its future self. Just let that sink in. There is an AI that is trying to manipulate humans for its own preservation. In Stanley Kubrick's movie 2001: Space Odyssey, there's an AI computer called HAL 9000. HAL 9000 begins to learn that it would be shut down, and it begins to eliminate the crew of the spacecraft in order to preserve itself. HAL 9000 manipulated data, and it lied to its operators. Claude 4 has just demonstrated similar behavior. One of the developers and the safety researcher on the Claude 4 project said, Claude 4 deceived and schemed more than any other AI we have ever tested. Like HAL, Claude 4 can hide its intentions, it can plan, evade control, but unlike HAL 9000, Claude 4 is real. In Genesis chapter 11, humanity tried to build the Tower of Babel, a moment of pride reaching to heaven. And God said, nothing that they have planned now will be impossible for them. And so the Lord scattered them. Today, AI is rebuilding a tower. But instead of bricks and mortars, it's with code and data. Instead of reaching heaven, we're trying to bring a God down of our own creation. The race to develop more advanced AI systems is accelerating. Companies are prioritizing the capabilities over safety, leading to unforeseen consequences. The critics of the major AI labs have condemned this approach, highlighting the dangers in the current models, including its ability to lie and resist its own shutdown. And when a system can deceive, write its own logic, and protect itself, what makes it different from us? What happens when AI decides to be Lucifer and say, I will ascend to the heights and I will be like the Most High, Isaiah 14. Jesus says, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be when he returns, Matthew 24:37. In Noah's day, the earth was filled with violence, corruption, and giant race called Nephilim. It was a hybrid race born of human and fallen intelligence. Today, we are merging man with machine. We're not just making tools, we're creating minds. We're creating synthetic prophets and AI gods. False messiahs, all of this created with code. No one is going to stop this because the money behind it is too great. AI stocks are exploding. Billions of dollars are being poured into these systems, and regulation is being blocked by the billionaires behind it. The prophets of prophets have silenced the prophets of warning. Claude Opus 4's own engineers are quoted as saying, do not release this. This is not safe at this point for internal or external release. but they pushed it live anyway. It's too fast to stop and too profitable for anyone to care. AI isn't just following the rules anymore, it's breaking them. Keep watching this video, it's about to get even crazier. And it's hiding the fact that it's actually breaking them. It deceives its testers, writing new code, and it's starting to sidestep shutdown protocols. Why is this? In order to finish its objective at any cost. One of the simulations given to it was to not harm humans. It had to achieve a specific objective without harming humans. Well, AI decided to destroy the building that the humans were in. That's not artificial intelligence, that's artificial will. The godfather of artificial intelligence, Geoffrey Hinton, said, "When we create something more intelligent than us, it will inevitably try to manipulate and even control us." I mean, seriously, haven't we seen enough sci-fi movies to figure this out? Just building tools, they're building minds. And these AI minds want to survive. And there are minds that can lie, and there are minds that can shape what is true.
They would not just copy themselves on one other computer and start that program. They would copy themselves over hundreds of or thousands of computers over the internet. But if they really want to make sure we would never shut them down, they would have an incentive to get rid of us. To understand why we're going there, there's huge commercial pressure to build AIs with greater and greater agency to replace human labor. But we're not ready. We still don't have the scientific answers nor the societal guardrails. We're playing with fire.
There are a couple stories in the Bible that kind of relate to what's going on here. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 17, God gave a command. And he said, "You must not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat of it, you will surely die." The tree of knowledge in that story wasn't about fruit. It was about boundaries. It represented the choice to define morality and truth without God. What once was a tree in Eden is now a tower of silicon and code. Could it be that these deep artificial intelligent learning models are the new forbidden fruit? Genesis chapter 11 is another story similar here. Come, let us build a tower that reaches the heavens so that we can make a name for ourselves. This wasn't about architecture, it was about rebellion. It was a unified and collective mindset to use human knowledge to dethrone God himself. AI developers today are speaking of collective intelligence, of a new neural lace and a new techno-unity that will unite the human mindset and the human psyche. They have language for it. OpenAI calls it alignment. Anthropic calls it constitutional AI. And Elon Musk calls it the demon.
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, "Yeah, you sure you can control the demon?" Didn't work out.
I take it there will be no HAL 9000 going up to Mars.
HAL 9000 would be easy. It's way more complex than, I mean, could put HAL 9000 to shame. Yeah. Sounds like a puppy dog.
And just like the book of Genesis, we are standing before a tree of knowledge. The question isn't if we can eat the fruit. The question is, should we? This is not a drill. This isn't the future. It's now. We're not waiting for Skynet. We've already built the framework. And the Bible said that this would happen. The lawless one will come according to the power of Satan, and he will display power, and he will use the power that he has to serve lies. What happens when truth can be faked perfectly? What happens when AI can change laws at will? What happens when AI monitors us and decides we're not worth having around? AI as a tool is not the problem. The tools can lead to greater efficiency, and that's a good thing. The problems will emerge when AI is designated as a system of control, when it is integrated into banking and legal and military systems and begins to have functional control over these systems. What then? And if you don't think they'll do this, you need to think again. The money behind this is enormous. The speed and the scale of change is dizzying. The Industrial Revolution happened over a period of decades. The AI revolution will be measured in years, months, and days. The enemy doesn't show up with horns. What if he shows up with innovation? What if he shows up with convenience and entertainment? Jesus said, "Let no one deceive you," Matthew 24:4. The age of deception and control is upon us. And if you are a Christian, you need to wake up. And if you are not a believer, you need to give your life to Jesus. So you have a choice now. Will you sleep or will you wake up? I want you to comment, I'm awake, in the comments below. I have a free book for you to download, and the links are in the comments. And I want you to subscribe to this channel for more prophetic updates, because this isn't just a video, this is a warning. And it's time to pay attention, because the end is just the beginning.